Okay, so hello everyone. I welcome you all to the first lecture of simulation series by Robotics Club IIT Kanpur. This is Preeti Kumari and I'll be covering the introduction and basics of simulation. So let's dive into it. The contents we'll be taking up are what is simulation, application in robotics, some of the robot simulators, intro to Gazebo, why Gazebo, installation, and overview of Gazebo components and architecture. So the first is what is simulation? Going by the definition, it is basically the process of designing a model to predict the behavior of or the outcome of a real or physical system. So in simple words, it is the imitation of operation of a real world system over time. That is, it gives you the feel of how your robot will function in real 3D environment. Now coming to second point, simulation is a powerful tool to implement your robotic model, which provides a virtual environment to analyze its complexity and most importantly to understand the reality. Okay, so when you think of making robot, you obviously have to think of all the other physical aspects like wind direction, like air drag, friction, etc. Okay, let's give you an example. Suppose you have to make a simple robot that can carry a given amount of load and can transport it from one place to another. So if one creates it without virtual simulation, without considering any physical aspects, various issues can arise. You must be knowing physics. For example, chases to payload dimension ratio can go wrong, rolling issues due to friction can go wrong, and payload capacity problems, etc. So there are basically many issues that can arise. Whereas if we simulate it first virtually, like in 3D environment, virtual 3D environment, we can change our dimensions or shape, size according to our need then and there, and then fine tune our calibrations. So now you can have the idea of importance of simulation. Okay, so moving next, few robotic simulation softwares are, you can see VBots, and then Gazebo, then RoboGuide, then Marilu. There are many more, but these are some of them. You can see the amazing interface they provide. As shown, you create a model here, then simulate with values. You can change the data values, like here is your model. You create a model, you change the data values here, then again simulate, then again change the data values. So this way you can fine tune your calibrations. So the software we are going to use for simulation is Gazebo. So you can see this is the Gazebo interface. Okay. Now what is Gazebo? Intro to Gazebo. Gazebo is a multi-robot simulator with support for wide range of sensors and objects and works hand in hand with ROS. Okay. ROS stands for Robot Operating System. I'm assuming you guys have gone through the ROS intro lecture. Okay, so this is a very famous definition of ROS. You can go through it. ROS is an open source meta operating system for your robot. It's basically a medium of communication between the hardware and software of the robot. If you're not aware and if you don't know what ROS is, you can check out the intro session for ROS lecture session for better clarity. So I assume you know what ROS is. So now moving ahead, so we are using Gazebo that needs ROS obviously. So now why Gazebo? Simple, because it allows to define the physics and dynamics of our environment. Also, it allows us to accurately and efficiently simulate our code on a real world like environment. That's self-explanatory. I don't need to explain it. Also, in comparison to other softwares, if you see, visualizing and working on Gazebo is better. Also, you'll get used to it in no time. Surely you can explore other also if you are interested. So we'll be using Gazebo. Now, how to get started? Here are the guidelines. Since ROS is needed for it, we are first installing ROS. We first install ROS and then get the simulator gazebo package. Also, here's the link. If you haven't installed ROS yet, you can go through this link and it will open a link. Yeah, so it will open a link. You can install ROS here according to your need. So, getting back. Hold on. Yeah. So you first install ROS and then the get the simulator gazebo package. So here are the guidelines. You should go through it. Okay. So this is the code for installing gazebo. So yeah, be careful with the codes. Don't miss the space bars and the hyphens, and always check the spellings. So you have to open gazebo, press Alt and F2. They will ask a command. Then type gazebo and then press enter. If this doesn't happen, this doesn't work, then if you have a launch file consisting of environment, try these guidelines, and if any issues or any queries arises, you can DM us or just ask us. Okay, so now once you open the GUI will look like this. What's GUI? GUI is a graphical user interface. Okay, so this is the scene. This is the main area where the simulations happen. Okay, so let me show you. So I'm pressing Alt and F2. So it's asking me a command. I'll type here gazebo and then press enter. See, there's a notification came that gazebo is ready. I click on it and there's this gazebo. So you can see this is the scene. This is what the GUI is. This is the scene. This is the main area where the simulation happens, where you will be simulating your models. You can simulating your models and interacting with the environment. Okay. So looking back. Now the panels, the left panel and the right panel. As you can see, there are two panels in it. The left panel appears by default when you launch gazebo. You can see, wait, yeah. So here's this. So there's no right panel, right? So this is hidden. Actually, we have to click and drag for right panel to appear. So we have these two panels, right and left, and we can see the left panel has three tabs: world, insert and layers tab. And in right panel we have these force, position, velocity, basically the physical parameters. Okay, so okay. So as you see, this was the same. So the right panel is basically for physical parameters. You can interact with the mobile parts of your model, and the left panel is for the three tabs, same three tabs: world, insert and layers. Okay, now what's the upper toolbar? This toolbar is the same as this toolbar. Okay, yeah, so this is the select mode, the translate mode, the rotate mode, the scale mode, the undo, redo, simple shapes, light, copy paste, align, snap, change view, screenshot, record logs. As you can see here, this is the upper toolbar we were talking about. This is the select mode, this is the translation mode, rotation mode, simple shapes, lights, copy paste, align, change view, screenshot, record logs, and same. So we have selected the selection mode, and this then just navigates through the area. If we have chosen a box like simple shapes, okay, let's choose a box. So as you can see, this gives us a box, and we can put it anywhere. Okay, so let's put it here. Okay, also the red line is the x-axis. These are the three axes of three axes, yeah. So red line is the x-axis, the green is the y-axis, and the blue one is z-axis. So the select mode just navigates, and this translation mode, you have to select your model and then make it translate. So as you can see, you can translate it over the whole area of the gazebo. Okay, so now this is for scaling mode. Wait, just we are going through it one by one. So this is the rotational mode. We click on your model, it will give us three axes about what axis do we have to rotate this. So we can rotate it this way, we can rotate it this way, as you can see. So this is the scale mode. Oh sorry, this is the rotation mode. Now next is scale mode. Just select your model, and then it gives you three options about what axis we need to elongate, and then you can elongate it this way, you can elongate it this way, you can elongate it this way. So according to your need and the model, you can just fix it. Okay, these are the simple shapes. If you want another one like any cylinder or this, you can explore it by yourself. Okay, and these are the lights. Okay, point light if you want to highlight something, so this is for that. And this is spotlight if you want a spotlight anywhere. So this is this align, and yeah, so the main is this change view. This basically needs for changing the view, like this is from the top, view from the top, this is view from the left, this is view from the front. So this is necessary. Okay, let's for better understanding, let's take it this. Yeah, now this is a view from the top. Okay, so this is the same view from the left, this is from the left view, this is right view, this. So there are basically many different views, and if you want to go home, this is the home view. So this is basically the overview. So now you get an understanding of what the toolbar functions are. Yeah, these are the same. You can just go through it, or you can explore it by yourself. And now the bottom toolbar. So the bottom toolbar is for you don't have to change values here. It just basically tells about the simulation, like the simulation time, the real time, what's simulation time, what's real time, and then what's their ratio, then time passed in simulation, and then the FPS. Okay, now what's simulation time? Simulation time refers to how quickly the time is passing when simulation is running. It basically depends on how much computation is required to run the simulation. It can be fast, can be slow. Also the real time is self-explanatory, it's the actual time. So there's this option of ratio of simulation time to real time. It is basically the ratio, so it just tells that the simulation is going fast or slow. So without going through the actual values of simulation time and real time, you can just have an overview of is it going fast or is it going slow. So that's the benefit of this. And this is just the FPS and this internal updates. You don't change values here, it's just for our calculations and better. So you can see this is the bottom toolbar, the same. You can stop or play upper simulation, then the real time factor, simulation time, real time, iterations, and is the same what we have explored there. Now coming to next, this is mouse, the benefits, the functions of mouse, drag, rotate. So you can go through it and you can explore it by yourself. So you can explore it by yourself. Just try it on your own device and get used to it. So in case of any queries or any issues, just DM us. Okay. So that's it for the first lecture and for the basics of the simulation. Next we will be covering the model directory and how to create models used by coding. Like we just simply selected a box and created a simple model, but that's not the case with a very complex model, so we have to do some coding. So next we'll be covering the model directory and how to create models. Okay, thank you.
So now we begin to create our models for the robot. We will build a model robot for simulation, but first we need to know its structures and requirements, and then I will show you how to write those files and import them. So first we will see the model directory. Okay. So the model directory contains all the required files which will be needed in the model. Okay, so the two main files are the model.config and the model.sdf. So the model.config has a basic description about the name of the author, about the bot, and the SDF file which has to be imported. It has a like description. Whereas the model.sdf is the main file. It has the XML code for all the characteristics of the model. There I have listed the characteristics here. You can see them. Now just show you in a bit more detail. Okay. So these are the characteristics. There are links. As you can see, this can be a wheel or a link in a joint. The sensors are attached to links in a gazebo model. Okay, and for example, like the collision element encapsulated geometry that is used for collision checking. How do I define it? Like these are the like physical properties. Okay, these define the physics of the element, like collision. So how will it interact with other things in the model? How it will collide with it? Okay, so for example, even if it's a box, I can create a structure around it, which is its collision element. So the thing which comes in near it and how it will collide is defined by the collision element. Then the visual and properties and light properties are, for example, like how it will look in the simulation. Okay, how will shadows form and how other things. Whereas the inertial element, as it is written, it is the dynamic properties, mass and rotational inertia matrix. So sensor collects data from the world for use in plugins. Sensor mechanism or sensors. Then there are joints. Joints connects two links, a parent and child parent such an access joint limb. Okay, and the plugins are important. Plugins, there are different kind of plugins which Gazebo provides, which we can use in our bot. Okay, for example, if we have to use a laser sensor, for example, so there is a laser plugin in Gazebo, so that we can give a laser scan message, and we can attach it to a bot, and the sensor provide data to the plugin. Okay, so the sensor which is attached to a link provides data to a plugin. Now I'll write a very simple like box which can be important, and I'll show you how to do it in the simulation. Okay, so here first I'm creating a directory in the Gazebo models folder. Okay, so this is our model directory. Okay, we can name it anything. So first you can see it. So now we have named our directory new robot. Now in our I'll open a new file, which is the model.config, and start editing it. So what and model.config. Okay, so now we'll write the code. You can see it. So let's analyze the like code. for example, the model.config has the name of the bot. So, okay, so that's name is my robot. Just any name, you can give any name to it. Version 1, SDF version 1.4. Okay, model.sdf. This is the SDF file which we will create. Okay, so this is the name of the SDF file. Name is this is my name, and okay, so we I added a description to it, and then let's move ahead. Oops. I guess I have to get back. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, now we'll write the SDF file. Okay, so model.sdf. So now this has a XML code for different properties. So right now we are just creating a box. Okay, so now just uh, let the let the code. Then we'll like see it in detail, like how what are all the properties in it. Okay, and second, yeah. So now we can see the code. So the model name as a is like I mentioned new model. Okay, so position first where it is located. Okay, so 0.5 comma 0 and 0. So these are 3 points which will define its position of the our model. Okay, then links, I have defined link, then the collision. Now I'll define the geometry. So geometry of the box is 111. This is the size, it's a cube. Okay, now you can define the collision element and visual element, for example. Visual. So this is the once again, now why I have defined it twice. Okay, so uh, this one is the collision element, the above one, whereas the lower one is a visual element. Okay, so visual element is how the box will look, whereas the collision element is how it will, like what is its boundaries and limits. Okay, so here we have kept it same. Okay, how it will the range it will hit an object, collide with them, interact with them, is we have kept it same as a visual element. We can keep it different, but I've kept it same. Okay, it's according to the need. So now I'll show you the box in the simulation. So this is the gazebo platform. Now I'll insert my robot. So here is this, a box. Okay, so we created this model which we can import in the, so and we can like move it, the above you can see there are different things you can do with it. We can have it, rotate it, move it, extend it right here, and this would like there we are in the code we defined the boundaries, but here we can edit things. Okay, so we can move it from its original position, we can change the size of it using the tools provided to us. So this is how a model has been imported, and we can save this configuration so that code would be edited. Thank you.